my gardening friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to do a little walkabout in my garden. It's almost end of September. It's the 27th today, and I wanted to show you what my garden was looking like end of September. And I love this time of the year because it's a great time to reflect on the gardening year, what things you loved about your garden, and what are some of the changes in your mind that you want to make, because fall is a perfect time to transplant and move things. Although I am actually super happy with the way my garden did in the front, considering a lot of it was newly developed this year, I am super thrilled about how it turned out, how it's performed, and I don't think I will change much in it for the fall, because I want to see how these plants come back and how they do next year before I make any changes to it. So without further ado, let me walk and show you what the garden is doing. The temperature has been cooling quite a bit. It has rained in the last couple of days, so plants did get the much needed water and things are doing really well. Let me start by taking you around my front garden beds, which are mostly full sun perennials, and I have few annuals just here and there, but not many. But just love how the garden is looking. I have two pots here with calendula and petunias and some gomphrena, and they are bursting with color, regardless of whether I have deadheaded it or not. And this calendula is just looking superb, and it's kind of been going for me for months now, and I love how this looks. Actually just put a seed packet in the pot and it's done fabulous for me. I also have some dahlias here that are blooming, and I love the color of this dahlia. It's looking so beautiful with the calendula. It is actually feeling very fall-like vibe with these colors, and I love orange and pinks together, and the yellow. It's just my colors. They're just beautiful, and they're looking super stunning in here and still blooming and doing fabulous together. Just want to give you a little close-up of this dahlia. It's so beautiful. And then I have lots and lots of buds on these roses. And I think I'll get a nice flush of these blooms soon, and it's going to be beautiful. I still have the Gora that's been blooming constantly. I still have the verbena that still looks beautiful. I have been slacking a bit on the deadheading because it's the tail end of the season, and I'm just soaking in what the garden is kind of producing at this point. The bubblegum petunia are doing amazing, and they've been going on for a long time now, and I just love how they look. The black and blue salvia has filled in beautifully, and I love how this dahlia and the salvia are kind of meeting each other. I think it's needed some staking, and I didn't stake it, but I love how it looks. It looks gorgeous. So lots of color still in the garden. There is that geranium roseanne which is still going, and I also have my roses here that are just flushing out beautiful new growth, trying to get past the dahlias that are blocking my path, but I'll get there and I'll show you what this looks like from this side. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love how this looks. It's just so beautiful. And the salvia is also, actually before I show you, I wanted to show you how many more buds are on this rose shrub. It's just gorgeous. And then here is another look at the dahlias from this side, and how colorful everything is still looking end of September, and it's just gorgeous. Like, I don't feel the need to add anything fall-like here, because I still feel like these reds and oranges are still looking quite fall-like, and naturally the colors are kind of getting a bit muted, which looks really pretty. And here is the alyssum that is still blooming and spilling over, and it's looking gorgeous with this petunias, and the sedums are about to shine at this time of the year. And I just love how this one looks. It's so gorgeous and pink and just so beautiful in this spot here. And I also wanted to show you what this is looking like. This is the Cleome that I planted with seed, and it's just looking gorgeous. It has a lot more blooms now, and I love how it adds this height in this garden. I'm hoping it self-seeds a bit and it comes back next year for me. If not, I will plant some more seeds. I love how this looks, and these are the seed pods. Actually, when they dry, you can save them, and hopefully when they're dry, they will disperse some of the seed and it'll come back. I love how that looks in the garden. It just looks stunning. And let me go over to the other side and give you another view of this. So this is my rock garden. It's filled in quite nicely as well. And I'm actually thinking of extending it a bit towards here and do some more lower growing things here. So that's the plan for next year. We'll have to see how this garden comes back and what I do with this next year. Lots of ideas brewing in my head right now, but I think I need a season to relax and come back with new ideas for this space for next year. So this is what it's looking like right now, and let's all move over to the other side. Lots and lots of color here as well. I have Verbena bonariensis. I have calendula that is still giving me lots and lots of color, and I haven't deadheaded this calendula in a long time, and it's still doing really, really well. I have dahlias there, and I think I have a drunk bee in there that's just so happy, and it's there. It's so beautiful. And lots more color here. There's lots of sedum in the back there that is just lighting up with pink in the backdrop there, and it's looking beautiful. And lots of fall color starting to happen. This geranium has turned. It's a low growing geranium, ground cover geranium that turns this beautiful red color in the fall, and it's starting to change its color already, which is really, really nice. And this is an iris that is blooming again. I planted this earlier in the spring, and it's a reblooming iris, and I'm so happy to see that it's blooming again. I really, really love the reblooming ones because they really give you that second wave of blooms later on when you're not expecting them, and it's so nice to see that. And then on this side here, I have lots of buds on roses. I think I will get a nice flush of roses soon, and I'll share them with you when they bloom. But there is a lot of color here just because the leaves are changing. So this is a Diervilla that has changed into this beautiful rich burgundy color. It looks really, really beautiful, especially against the Agastache in the back, and then the Firelight Hydrangea in the back. Like, these colors here are just so beautiful, along with the Lillian's Jewel Japanese maple. I think the colors look really, really pretty. And then there's also more dahlia in the back here, which is also very stunning. The colors, they're just beautiful and looking gorgeous. And lots of pinks here, lots of color here. This phlox has been blooming for weeks now, and I love how this looks with the variegated leaves. I have some annual salvias here, and I have some royal candle Veronica at the base, and lots of blanket flower. I think I need to come here and deadhead this because it's going to give me more blooms and look a lot cleaner, but I haven't done that yet. And yeah, I mean, I planted some Tithonia here as well, which is also blooming, and it's just a gorgeous vibrant orange color and beautiful. Lots and lots of color still in the garden, and it's looking really, really pretty. I also have a Miss Ruby butterfly bush over here that is blooming nicely. And yeah, I think lots of color still in the garden. This is end of September, and it's looking really, really gorgeous, the garden. Let me walk over to my driveway garden and show you what's happening there, and then we will take a walk and see what's happening in the side yard and the backyard gardens. My side driveway garden, which had lots of birds eating the coneflower seeds, and I love it. And I think I just scared them away, but I think I'm going to be here briefly and they can be back and enjoy their seeds. But lots of coneflower, the sedum here that is adding so much color and beauty to this area. I also have some purple palace coral bells that are just starting to fill out and change their color a little bit. And I think this area, I have to do a little bit with it, but I'm kind of seeing how it mingles and plays this year, and I'll see what it does next year. I do want to add something here, but I'm not really sure what. I might add another sedum on this side. I'll see how I feel about this next year. I have been thinking about it, but I haven't really added anything there. And I think the real star here is this beautiful, beautiful hydrangea. Look at the color on this. Look at the fall color on this. It's just absolutely stunning. And this unfortunately broke because I've been having a lot of construction and lots of garbage on this side. But look at this bloom. I think I'm going to take it inside and I'm going to dry it. It's just stunning. Look at it. Just beautiful. It's bigger than my hand, and I just love the color on this hydrangea. It's just beautiful, just gorgeous. The Rose of Sharon here is done blooming, not much happening there. I think it's time to give it a bit of a trim, but I did prune it quite a bit last year, so I might do the same, but I can even leave it and trim it back in the spring. So we'll see. If I get to it, I will. But look at this color. I'm just in awe of this beautiful, beautiful hydrangea. So let's walk over to my side garden and see what's happening there. I'm going to show you what's happening in the side garden. Lots of plants here, lots of new foliage on roses. I still have some tomatoes here, but I'm just enjoying the lush green. I have a little sand cherry shrub here which is starting to change color. As you can see, there's some leaves that are really bright red and some are burgundy, so it's going to change a nice fall color. Highly recommend the shrub because it's a beautiful shrub. It has very pretty white blooms in the spring, and then it has this nice burgundy foliage throughout the season, and then it has a nice fall color as well. So lots of seasonal interest, and it's just beautiful. Let's go into the side yard garden. Side yard garden is really full right now. It's got a lot of sedum that is coming into bloom, so it just looks beautiful. The rich color of that pink sedum is just amazing in this garden. Lots of roses have started to push out new blooms, and it's just looking really pretty and fresh in here, especially after the rain that we got. I still have some phlox that's blooming there. I haven't deadheaded any of the Rudbeckia and the coneflowers. I'm just leaving it for the birds, and I think they will munch away those seeds. And I'm not really a stickler for having this spot really clean because it's in my side yard and I don't mind it being the way it is, especially if it is food for the birds for the winter. I will just leave it and I'll clean it up next year in the spring. My planters are really doing well. I mean, this is so lush, the coleus. It's spilling over, and I will be really sad to see it die over the winter. I'm going to see if I can try to save this planter for the winter somewhere inside. I have to find a spot for it. And look at these dahlias. I mean, they are just coming into their own so beautifully. I love how they look. And lots of green still. I still have some hydrangeas here. I still have some roses, little roses. I think these are also easy peasy roses, and they're really pretty. Love the vibrant pink on them. And lots of purple color here with the geranium roseanne and the nepeta. So there's a lot of purple here, which I really adore in this spot because it adds a really nice soft purple color that kind of ties this bed together. And lots of buds on roses here as well. So I should be getting some rose action in a week or so because all of these buds should open. And the plants are really doing well in this spot. In a garden in the side, I have lots of chili peppers that are growing that need to be harvested, and I have lots of purple chili peppers here that are growing and looking really beautiful. I have a bunch of blueberries in these containers, which I think I'm gonna leave them for the winter and see how they overwinter in the containers. Lots and lots of marigolds are blooming here, and they are just beautiful. This spot doesn't get a lot of full sun. It is a part shade location, so I take whatever blooms I get here, and it's really beautiful no matter what, having this wave of color here. And this is again a bed that needs to mature, and I think once it does, it's going to look fabulous. It is work in progress, and it's kind of coming along and doing its thing. So moving along, this is my woodland shade garden. I do have a sedum planted here, and it's doing really well because I kind of did it as an experiment to see how the sedum was going to do in a shadier spot, and it actually is doing really well in this spot. So this is one sedum I've had for a really long time, and I have kind of spread it throughout my garden, and it's just beautiful. And the shade garden is doing okay. It's got a lot of hostas that are starting to turn a little bit yellow now, and I think soon it's going to be time to give them a cut and they will be done. But for now, things are green and they are looking nice, and I think much better after the rainfall that we got. And here are my incredible hydrangeas that I planted recently, and I also have some hostas along with it, and that is looking really good. That is my rhododendron. This is the I'm forgetting the name of this rhododendron. I think this was the PJM, maybe. I have to think. I forgot the name of this rhododendron, but it's got a beautiful reddish pink bloom on it. And this back garden is also doing good. There's sedums blooming there, so they are the star of the show right now, and just looking really pretty. I need to add some more sedum in here. I think I might just add more along the back there, so it kind of completes a drift of sedum there. I love the color pink here and how it looks, and more sedum blooming here and just looking really beautiful. A lot of the other plants are starting to die back now. The peonies, they need to be cut, so I'm just have to come and do some cleanup. But I wanted to show you what the garden was really looking like today, and it's just a beautiful, gorgeous day here. It's nice and cool. There are some roses here that are blooming. Coneflowers have gone over, and then there's Veronica that is constantly blooming, even though I haven't deadheaded it. There's bees on it all the time, and it's a beautiful pink Veronica. Highly recommend Veronica for your garden simply because it blooms for a really long time, and it's a really easy, beautiful plant for the garden, and it plays well with a lot of the other plants, so I really like that one. Lots of color here still. I have to come and do some cleanup, but overall it's not looking too shabby. So this is a new section that I've been working on. I have some Cheyenne Spirit coneflowers that I planted here that I found on clearance, and the same I planted a bluebeard. I will make a little video and share with you this little bed with you in a little bit more in detail about what I planted in here. But it's fairly new, and I'm really excited about this bed because it just started from nothing as usual, and it's like a little island bed, and I really like how it's turning out. So on this side, I still have some annual salvia that is actually doing really well and blooming really nicely in here. And then I also have some roses that are coming into life and doing what they're supposed to do. I have some purple sedum here. I think this is purple ruby dazzle or something like that, and it's really pretty sedum as well. It's got a really nice deep dark foliage, and it's got nice pink blooms that really look nice contrasting with the plant. And then I have hydrangea limelight prime that's starting to bloom over there. These haven't performed too well for me. I think they're still establishing in my garden, so I'm gonna see how they do next year in my garden, but overall they've been okay. This is a rose standard that I planted here, which is really not doing well. It's got something on it which is causing all the leaves. I think it has severe black spot or some kind of fungus. So I have to spray it, but I'm kind of leaving it and seeing if it's going to survive the winter and do what it's supposed to do. So I will come out here and spray some neem oil on it and see if that helps. But we'll see if this one recovers. But I do see some hope because I do see some fresh leaves that are growing here. So I'm gonna have to spray this one. And then this side of the garden is doing really well. Everything is green. things are still doing okay. Nothing really blooming. Actually, I do have some asters that are blooming here, and they're very pretty as well. So these just started blooming, and they are gorgeous. And then I have more sedum over here that is starting to add this beautiful pink in the garden, and I love how this looks. It's just beautiful how things are looking. That's my ruby star coneflowers that I recently planted, and then I also have lots and lots of other plants here that are fairly new, and I think I will see more of these come to life in the next season. But for now, I think the garden has settled and it's looking good. I also have Tithonia here that was blooming, but hopefully in my next video I can show you more of these blooms. But for now, that's what the garden is looking like. I hope you guys enjoyed this end of September garden tour. It's looking really pretty, and I think in a couple of weeks this is all going to change because the leaves are going to start changing and falling, and I'm going to have to be cleaning up a lot of this stuff. So it might be even the last of the garden the way it looks right now, and I just love sharing this with you and showing you what things were looking like today and what the garden was doing. So with that, thank you again so much for joining me today, and if you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing to my channel. I walk around my garden pretty much every week and show you what's happening. Maybe it gives you some ideas on things you can plant to extend your season and lots and lots of blooms in your garden. So with that, thank you again for watching. I will catch you in my next video.